DVDs, the format that killed VHS, yet now exists in a kind of purgatory itself, kept alive only by physical media enthusiasts such as myself. But let's go back to the ancient times, when DVDs were the hot new thing, and kids everywhere were desperate to get their hands on them. Even for a kid like me, who loved the coziness of sticking a tape on for the evening, DVDs seemed like the next generation of media, promising higher picture quality, better sound, scene selections, commentaries, subtitles, bonus features. The list goes on. Of course, DVDs have long since been surpassed by Blu-rays and streaming, but I want to take you back to a time when DVDs were, dare I say, cool? More unique than streaming? More eye-catching than some idiot's YouTube video? It might sound crazy, but I'm here to tell you why DVDs ruled in the early 2000s. Maybe it sounds like a trivial thing, but one cool thing about DVDs was the menus. Like, take this DVD of Treasure Planet, one of my all-time favourite Disney movies. You can check my review out if you want to hear more about the movie, but the DVD has one of the best menus, using Captain Flint's treasure map to guide you through the options. Even the scene selection is perfectly displayed on the grid, and back when I was a kid, watching this in the cinema for the first time, I actually remember thinking this scene would make for a great DVD menu. Yes, that was something I did back then, and when I found out I guessed correctly, I was chuffed. The only thing better could be finding the map in real life. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Another notable mention, even though this is a revolting adaptation compared to the original. I mean, I couldn't begin to tell you what Johnny Depp thought he was doing as Willy Wonka. He plays him more like a serial killer. Just listen to his laugh.
It'll smash into a million pieces.
What a nut. Give me Gene Wilder any day. This DVD comes on 2 discs, a big deal back then. Disc 1 for the movie, and Disc 2 for all the scrumdiddlyumptious special features. It comes in a Wonka bar slipcase, and weirdly, the case actually smells like chocolate. No, seriously, even after 20-odd years, I can still smell it. It's the potent scent of 2005. When I saw this one in the cinema, I thought the menu might be based around the intro, but instead, it's Deep Roy moving some chocolate around the inventing room. Fair play to him for having to do all these roles a million times, but I'm not sure I like him pouring gooey liquid onto my face. Disc 2 is based around the TV room. It has the usual behind-the-scenes features, but also some DVD remote games, including Dance Dance Oompa Loompa Revolution. Now, I would say more about these DVD games, but maybe we'll save that for a more specific episode in the future. Die Hard with a Vengeance. Another cool menu here, set in the subway, alluding to the bombing that takes place in the movie, back when they actually made actors run for their lives from a moving train instead of CGing everything. Granted, you can tell the menu here is CG, but it has that PlayStation 2 kind of charm. Looks like a video game level. Although we've already established the series doesn't have the best games. Being a 2-disc set, there's a metric ton of extras and trailers, with some interesting taglines.
When the theater goes dark,
Trust me, guys. Dark.
the roof blows off.
As a kid, I would have taken that literally and actually thought the cinema was going to blow up.
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
The best thing on Disc 2 is the alternate ending, even though it's just listed under commentary for some dumb reason. It's a much darker piece, with John McClane taking his revenge on Jeremy Irons for messing with him for the whole movie.
What does he forget? What does he forget, Simon? Forget, Simon.
The antidote to the brandy.
I'm sorry, that is the wrong fucking answer.
I kind of like seeing him so unhinged here.
The bad motherfucker. Press the trigger, Simon.
It might be sick and twisted, but I love it. Panic Room. Speaking of sick and twisted, this is a dark thriller about a mother and her daughter trapped inside a panic room while burglars are trying to break in. Sort of like Home Alone for grown-ups. Great movie, and this super duper 3-disc special edition has some great visual menus too. There's a special variation of the Columbia logo with the blueprints for their house, and a CGI version of every floor. Each option takes you to a different floor, rendered in all its PS2 glory. Not surprising considering this is a Sony movie. It's the ultimate DVD menu for people who like snooping around the homes of others while they aren't looking. Rugrats in Paris, the movie. This one has a DVD menu where the babies talk back at you.
Just pick something already! I don't mean your nose!
It's the type of thing where you fall asleep watching the movie before getting woken up by this, and you feel incredibly perturbed. And yes, that has happened to me. The special features include the music video for Who Let the Dogs Out, maybe the song of every school disco I went to back then.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Apparently, people hate this song, but you know what? I think you're wrong. I also never knew this movie had an alternate ending, like the villain being forced to work in Gooey World.
This cannot be my life. Tell me it is going to get better.
I guess even a movie about talking babies can have endless story conflicts. Max and Paddy's Road to Nowhere. One of the best Peter Kay shows, The Adventures of Max and Paddy on the road in their motorhome. This one has a simple yet effective menu, with the options being made out of motorway road signs. It also has maybe the funniest outtakes of any TV show, where they just make you laugh no matter how many times you watch them.
I've told you, with no balls, Tony.
Tony! Who's fucking Tony? I said Tony! Yeah, you said Tony! You know what I said, Tony? Fucking Tony! Tony! Fucking Tony!
You alright, Tony?
They'll cheer you up in no time. I'm Alan Partridge, Series 1. Okay, you want to see a really weird DVD menu? This is one of my favourite sitcoms, with Alan Partridge stuck living in a hotel. So for the DVD, they actually laid things out like an old TV service, with channels you can select. It even has Sky-esque EPG music. Classic. And notice how Channel 3 is blank, I guess so the BBC could take a cheap shot at ITV. Most of the options just bring up images or DVD credits, though one shows you grainy CCTV footage from the hotel, in a never-ending loop. Yeah, it goes on for days. I bet some poor schmuck in Norwich doesn't realise and is still watching it now. It's an excellent idea though. Harkens back to a time when watching movies in your hotel room would bankrupt you for life. It's also worth mentioning some bad DVD menus. You know, the ones where zero effort is put into making them entertaining. Like, look at this one. It's literally just a poster with some notebook paper on the side. A common feature of rushed early DVD releases from the 90s. Even the disc has the title written in multiple languages to save on pressing more discs. Utter laziness. But I think the worst might be this menu for Home Alone 4. Not only is it just a poster in a box, but it has this horribly generic Fox branding all around it. Doesn't a quality movie like Home Alone 4 deserve a massive amount of money spent on a brilliant menu? Well, maybe find out at Christmas time when I finally review this one. Okay, let's dig into some DVDs truly bursting with special features, and we have to start with the original Spider-Man movie, an all-time classic of course, and not only were the menus a visual treat, but the special features were off the wall. Disc 1 has the original trailers and TV spots, which remind me of just how much hype there was for this movie when it came out. If you didn't see Spidey back then, you were a loser.
Spider-Man.
You do too much. You're not Superman.
Rated PG-13.
It drove me crazy how this movie had a 12 rating, and my parents never took me to see it. I had to watch it on this very DVD at a neighbour's house instead. And from that day on, I always wished that I would get bitten by a radioactive spider and get all the cool powers. But knowing my luck, I'd probably get killed instead. There's also that Nickelback music video of the song from the end credits. Great piece. Always made me want to be heroic. Then there's this weird punk song, which I never really got. I always thought it was, you know, the Green Goblin's theme. I was 6. Disc 2 has even more special features, themed around the Goblin's lab. There's loads of great bonus material here, including the making of the movie, which was also on the end of the VHS tape, and even a look back at the old Spidey comics. It's like a full history lesson. Of course, one thing that caught my eye is the hints and tips for the official video game, which takes you through the first 3 levels.
You begin your mission in stealth mode, but if you're seen, you lose stealth mode for the rest of the level.
And let me tell you, I played this game to death as a kid. I couldn't get enough of it. It's probably the reason my first PS2 exploded back in the day. Definitely worth a review sometime. Spider-Man 3. Much like the first, this is a juicy 2-disc set. Disc 1 has some dynamic menus of all the best promo photos from the movie they could find, and a peculiar advert for some kind of radio-controlled Spider-Man toy.
Whoa! I love web slinging! With over 1,000 action combos, you call the shots with the wireless remote control. With great power comes great responsibility.
Now, obviously, I would have loved having this as a kid, but much like all of these expensive electronic toys, it would probably be fun for about 10 minutes before you go back to smashing your action figures together. Somehow the basic toys were always the best. Also, guess what? The disc has maybe one of the first ever ads for Blu-ray, back when there were probably 10 movies available for sale, including Spidey, of course. We might have laughed then, but Blu-ray has become a very important format to me, since I try to collect most movies in HD these days. Personally, I think video quality peaked to that level. I mean, do we really need all that 4K Blu-ray nonsense? It's just unnecessary. If the picture gets any better, I expect to be swinging alongside Spider-Man, not just watching him. Disc 2 has, oh, this delightful gem. I already talked about this one before, so just go back and watch that rant. Anyway, there's some great treats on this Venom-themed disc, including the obligatory outtake reel.
The blade that pierced his body came from his gilder.
What a man. And you gotta love all the original trailers and TV spots, including some international ones this time.
Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3. It also has one of the strangest music videos I've ever seen, for a Snow Patrol song featured in the movie's end credits. It's like a school play of the first two Spider-Man movies, where all the actors are kids. That would be pretty impressive for a primary school, having Snow Patrol as your backing music. How did they get the budget for that? It's kind of adorable, but back when I was a kid watching this, I just felt jealous. I wanted to be hanging up there like Spider-Man, and we don't even get Spider-Man 3. Guess we're still waiting on St. Spidey's Junior School for that performance. Peter Pan, Return to Neverland. You know when you ask your parents for a movie and they get you the sequel instead? Yeah, that's how I have this one. Honestly though, I don't mind this film, and it has a pleasant menu with a decent score. One thing I do mind, however, is some of the trailers, like Mickey's House of Villains.
For the first time ever, all the Disney villains are together.
When I saw this trailer, I thought this movie was going to be an epic. All of the Disney villains versus all of the Disney heroes in a final battle to the death. I thought it would be like Avengers Endgame. I was so hyped for this amazing confrontation, I begged and begged my parents to rent the movie from Blockbuster, but when I watched it, the villains take over for about 2 minutes, and then they get beaten. It was the biggest disappointment of my entire childhood. Disney still owes me money for therapy bills. Still, the special features on this disc make up for it. Notably, there's an exclusive episode of Art Attack, back when Neil Buchanan sold the series to the Disney Channel. Even back then they were swallowing stuff up. I loved this show, but this was the only time I actually tried to make something from it. Neil shows us how to make a desert island, which looked fantastic.
And when you finish the whole sea, it looks something like that. And look at that, I've painted the beach a nice sandy yellow, I've painted the buildings a wooden brown, and that's it.
But when I tried to make my own island like his, I had to rewatch this about 20 times to get the hang of it, and then when I finally made my island, my brother had to go and step on it. There's no justice.
Try it yourself, your own dream island, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra!
There's also a great DVD game that I used to play a lot, but more on that in another video, like I said. And you can't forget this solemn music video with a song that launched 1,000 YouTube AMVs.
Mustn't let them see me cry. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Disney fans just eat this stuff up. The SpongeBob SquarePants movie. I wish there was more to say about this one. The menu has some nice artwork, even if there aren't any creative transitions or anything, and one has to note that Wilco instrumental on the main menu. Oddly eclectic soundtrack to this movie, wasn't there? Maybe the most notable thing was the original teaser trailer, with the submarine under attack from a mysterious ocean force.
Mother of God.
Don't you just love playing submarine, Gary?
God knows what the adults thought watching this in the cinema. Doctor Who. When Doctor Who was the big cheese of early 2000s sci-fi, there were some delicious DVD box sets to go along with it. The first DVD box set was shaped like a TARDIS, and the menu matched it perfectly. And you get that awesome audio description woman too.
Doctor Who, Series 1, Disc 4.
There were a lot of DVD extras on these sets, but the most insane had to be the Series 2 outtakes, which featured such delights as a pair of Cybermen having fun in the playground. The sad thing is I can take this more seriously than the show today. Robot Wars. Here's an obscure one from my childhood vault. Back in the days when Robot Wars wasn't brutally neglected by the BBC, they released these DVDs based around some of the most famous competitors. Each DVD would feature an interview with the bot builder about how they built their robot, and a selection of their most famous battles in the arena. It was like a little history tour. Fortunately, the DVD menus also kept the grungy look of the show, along with some special features like robot terminology. To is human, to gur is robot. They never said that in the show. The best thing about these DVDs was the ability to cut your own battle, where you could change the camera angle of a famous fight by pressing a button on your remote. It's like your own personal editing test. Maybe I learned a trick or two by doing this in my youth. Stuart Little 2. Is it just me, or is Stuart Little one of those things that's impossible to hate? It's just too genuinely innocent. I couldn't possibly say a bad word about it. There are some bizarre special features here, like Heart FM drawing competition? What's this? Well, I'm guessing it was a radio competition to get some of your drawings on the DVD. It makes you wonder, where are all of these darling kids now? My guess is prison. And of course I have to mention the video game promo. Yes, Stuart Little had his own video game on the PS1, which just so happens to be a rip-off of the Treasure Planet game, which also happens to be a rip-off of Spyro. It's like the worm Ouroboros or something. Ice Age. The franchise that never seems to end. You know, this was one of my first ever DVDs back in 2002, and even now they're still making another sequel? Like it's almost been 25 years, move on! Well, franchise gripes aside, this is a good menu, using the ice sliding scene from the film. Whenever you pick an option, Manny smashes through the ice, giving way to a host of special features, like the original trailers for the movie, which always had the song Ice Ice Baby at the end. I think that's the first time I ever heard Vanilla Ice. There's also these weird promos using Scrat, which I guess were used as bumpers on the Fox network in the US. Oh, and there's an exclusive short cartoon starring Scrat as well, where, as usual, he can never get his hands on that acorn, although it does make for a very trendy beret. A series of unfortunate events. I've always been a huge fan of the Lemony Snicket books, and this movie got me into reading them, so it holds a special place in my heart. This has to be one of the best DVD menus, and the Thomas Newman score just sells it. There's also a ton of extras on the disc, like deleted scenes, outtakes, and tons of improv by Jim Carrey. There's like over an hour of hilarious material that never made it into the movie, but I'm glad it's preserved here.
Let's go back in a time machine. Time machine. Time machine.
Maybe the oddest thing is the commentary with the real Lemony Snicket, where the director has apparently kidnapped Mr. Snicket and forces him to watch the movie.
Oh no, this is terrible. Why would you make such a film?
By accident?
I trust you did not actually murder Billy Connolly.
Well, we haven't seen him in a while.
Please, sir, apologize right now.
I just have to ask you, are there more books available?
Please, sir, apologize right now. Rescue me from the situation in which I am now so that I don't find myself unconscious as we see 3 children unconscious in the back of a stranger's car.
I thought this was hilarious as a kid. Honestly, it might be the best ever DVD commentary in a subversive sense. Disc 2 has a ton of behind-the-scenes features, documenting the entire making of the movie and all of the special effects. It's a great watch, and a testament to how effective old Hollywood movie-making techniques are, like putting tons of light bulbs up in the ceiling to mimic a sky, and the use of models and forced perspective sets to make things look bigger than they are. It's all highly fascinating, well worth a watch for the budding filmmaker in you. Star Wars. When I was a young lad raised on the prequels, I got the original Star Wars trilogy on DVD for my 8th birthday and fell in love all over again. And while these might be the tainted special editions, there's a certain charm to these DVDs that brings a smile to my face. For one thing, they have a bit of randomness. Each time you put the disc in, you might get a different menu based around a certain planet. Like one time it might be Yavin 4, or the Twin Suns of Tatooine. It just immerses you in the world instantly. But the best thing about this 2004 set was the bonus disc included with the films. I'd spend hours looking through it. Like you could look at all the original posters released around the world, or even play a demo of Star Wars Battlefront if you had an Xbox. And that just annoyed me because I had a PS2, and this was one of the best games ever when I was a kid. Just watching the trailer would get me pumped. There's also a sneak peek at the Episode 3 video game, which I also played religiously back then, and it's clear they tried to put a lot of lightsaber combat from the movies into the game. Actually, one notorious thing about the game is the alternate ending, where Anakin kills Obi-Wan on Mustafar. and then he kills the Emperor. That was shocking back then. Another thing I enjoyed was watching all of the trailers from when these movies came out. Strangely, the original trailer for Star Wars is actually kind of creepy. It's got this eerie music with the logo coming slowly towards you.
Star Wars, 1 billion years in the making, and it's coming to your galaxy this summer.
Used to freak me out watching this in the dark. And the trailer for Empire Strikes Back didn't help either, with this disturbing Darth Vader head floating in the nebulous void of deep space. If I saw this in the cinema back then, I'd be terrified. More terrifying, however, is this trailer for the 1997 special editions.
The Star Wars Trilogy, Special Edition. See it again for the first time.
Was it really all worth it just for a bunch of cheap 90s CG? Of course it was, or I wouldn't have got this DVD set for my birthday. But that still doesn't mean I like it. But in the end, the absolute greatest thing about this disc was the 2-hour-long documentary Empire of Dreams. At the time, this was the most comprehensive look at the making of the original trilogy, and even as a kid, I would just get lost watching this. It's one of my all-time favourite documentaries. I always find it very inspiring every time I watch it, and while people like to pick on old Georgie, you can't deny he encouraged us all to dream big. Well, there's time for one last DVD, and it might as well be Monsters, Inc. This has to be one of my earliest DVDs, if not the first. I saw this movie as a baby boy and loved it, and the DVD surpassed all my expectations. As you would expect, it's a 2-disc set. The first disc has the movie, of course, alongside this perplexing THX logo. Like, who's this robot guy? He looks like Robo Mario. There's also a very early teaser trailer for Finding Nemo, with Dory messing things up as usual.
I will voluntarily go on a hook.
Whoa, hey! Was it something I said?
Hard to imagine a time before that movie was even released. Disc 2 is where the real gold is though. It has some basic options to start, like the outtakes from the movie, and the exclusive Mike's New Car short, but there's also a choice between the human door and the monster door. Pick the human door, and you ascend into the door vault, with tons of doors to choose from, each one representing a different aspect of making the movie. It's a brilliant idea for a menu. Each door leads to a different location, and the wooden one even has the yodeling music. One of the best things was the Pixar Fun Factory tour, which took you all around Pixar's headquarters to show off life at the studio. At the time, it just made you want to work there yourself. It looked like a laugh a minute. There's just so much to choose from here. There's an international reel, with a truckload of dubs from the movie all packed into one clip.
Schmupsipus.
Guggelibære.
Gratulerer med dagen.
Guggeli-vuggeli, du husket den.
You could watch clips from the premiere of the movie, with all kinds of interactive stuff that I would have killed for back then. There's the original treatment of the movie, a look at the toys, many posters, and plenty of trailers and TV spots, including one that's more than a bit meta.
Wait, I got it! Harry Potter!
And yes, the first Harry Potter movie was playing in cinemas at the exact same time as this film. But it's when you click the monster door that things get really interesting. There's a bunch of weird bumpers that I'm guessing were shown on ABC across the pond, including Mike and the gang watching Monday Night Football.
Are you ready for some football? Yeah!
Doesn't that break the law of this universe? Then there's this fever dream from a Japanese kids show, where Mike and Sully just so happen to be guests. If anyone at home could insert any context for this madness, that would be great. And you also have something of a tradition with these early Disney DVDs, the read-along storybook.
This is Monsters Incorporated, the #1 Scream Energy firm in Monstropolis. And this is the company's top scarer, James P. Sullivan.
Yeah, just learn how to read by watching a DVD. Even though I was an avid reader, I'd still do this because I like the interactive elements. If you clicked on one of the monsters by accident, the CDA would show up to slime you. That's cool. Finally, my favorite thing was the orientation section, which would act like you were a new employee at Monsters, Inc.
Welcome, new employee of Monsters Incorporated. We're the largest scare factory in the monster world and home of the scariest monsters ever to roam the earth.
How cool is that? You get a guide through the whole factory, a full handbook to look through, a whole bunch of trading cards, and wow, this DVD is amazing! No, seriously, this has to be one of the best DVDs ever made. How did they manage to cram so much content onto one tiny DVD? It's still just as immersive now after 24 years. I mean, if you love Monsters Inc., then this DVD is for a superfan like you. It's just the perfect way to lose yourself in the fantasy world of movies like this. And that, ultimately, is why I think DVDs are still a worthy format, or just physical media in general, honestly. I mean, do you see Netflix or Disney Plus supplying you with all these documentaries, tours, games, and trailers? No, you just watch the movie and that's it. Is it really developing your critical thinking or fictional comprehension? I don't think so. That's why we need DVDs and Blu-rays. There still has to be a way of collecting all that documentary evidence and behind-the-scenes info for you to enjoy and learn at your leisure. I mean, sure, you could look that stuff up on YouTube, but do you really want to squint down at your phone or crack your neck staring at a tablet screen? Not me. Just pop the disc in, sit back on your couch, pick up the remote, relax, and watch your flat screen TV, or CRT if you want to be truly retro, because sometimes the old ways are the best ways, and it's well-made DVDs like these that remind us why they deserve to stick around, as long as you don't scratch them.